Properties of actinoids. There are different properties. The first, similar to lanthanides, they appear silverified in color. Second property, they are highly reactive, radioactive elements. Except promethium, all are non-radioactive in nature. They experience decrease in the atomic and ionic radii from the actinium to lawrencium, and this decrease in atomic and ionic radii is known as a actinoid contraction, just like lanthanide contraction. They usually exhibit +3 oxidation states. The elements of first half of the series usually exhibit higher oxidation states. Like lanthanoids, actinoids also shows there is a +3 oxidation states in their compounds, and this +3 oxidation state is a common oxidation state. The elements of the first half of this series usually exhibits the higher oxidation states. From thorium to americium, they shows there is a +3 to +7 oxidation states in their compounds. Usually neptunium and plutonium shows +7 oxidation states, and this is a higher oxidation state of the actinoid series. And these are the properties of actinoid series. Next is applications. Applications of actinoids. We have seen that the half-lives of the natural thorium and uranium isotopes are so long that we get a very negligible radiations from these elements. From these thorium and uranium isotopes, their half-lives is very high, and therefore their radiations are very negligible. We find them in everyday use. For example, thorium 4 oxide, thorium dioxide with 1% cerium dioxide was used as a major source of indoor lighting before incandescent lamps came into existence, only because these oxides convert heat energy from burning natural gas to an intense light. Even today, here is a great demand for these lights for outdoor camping. And these are the applications of actinoids. Then the electronic configurations of the actinoid series. Electronic configuration. The general electronic configuration is radon 5f0 to 14, 6d0 to 2, 7s2, and this is the general electronic configuration for actinoid series. This following table shows that there is an electron configuration of actinoids and their ionic radii in +3 oxidation states. Elements, symbol, atomic number, electronic configuration in ground state and +3 oxidation state, atomic radii in picometer, and ionic radii of actinium 3+ in picometer. This chart shows there is actinium to lawrencium from atomic number 89 to 103. Electron configuration, they shows there is actinium. The first electron enters in a d orbital. This is the d orbital, and therefore actinium is a member of the transition elements, but not a f-lock elements. After this, the another electrons in case of thorium enters in case of this d orbital, and lastly from protactinium the electrons from these 6d2 electrons. Out of these 2 electrons, 1 electron from d orbital and entering electron enters in this f orbital. Therefore, the first two members shows there is a 5f0, 5f0 electron configuration, and then the successively electrons enters in case of this f orbital with including this 6d1. After this plutonium, there is a 5f6, 6d0, 7s2. Last electron enters in this f orbital in case of the americium, and lastly the lawrencium electron configuration is read on 5f14, 6d1, 7s2. All these elements shows there is a plus 3 oxidation states, and at this time there is a plus 3 oxidation states, and f orbital contains there is a number of electrons are 5f0, 5f1, 5f2, 5f3, 5f4, 5f5, 5f6, 5f7, 5f8, 5f9, 5f10, 5f11, 5f12 and 5f13, 5f14 from actinium to the lawrencium, and these are the successive electrons are increases from actinium to the lawrencium in their plus 3 oxidation states. Then there is the atomic and ionic radii. Atomic radii is higher as compared to their ionic radius. And this is the chart to represent the electron configuration of actinoids and their ionic and atomic radii in plus 3 oxidation states. Next part is oxidation numbers, that is the oxidation states of actinoids. Like lanthanoids, the most common state of actinoids is plus 3. In addition to that, actinoids shows variable oxidation states such as plus 2, plus 3, plus 4, plus 5, plus 6 and plus 7. These elements, americium and thorium, shows the plus 2 oxidation states. Americium and thorium, these two elements shows there is a plus 2 oxidation states in some compound. Thorium iodide shows there is a plus 2. The elements from thorium, protactinium, uranium, neptunium, plutonium, americium shows there is a plus 5 oxidation states. Neptunium and plutonium exhibit there is a plus 7 oxidation states in their compounds. This is the oxidation states of actinoids, thorium to lawrencium. And just like transition elements, first transition elements, there is a triangle is obtained in case of their oxidation states from scandium to manganese and manganese to again copper. This shows there is a triangle method. Similar way, in this oxidation states of actinoids shows there is a triangle from thorium to this plutonium and again this plutonium to the californium or up to the berkelium, and this shows there is a plus 7 oxidation states in case of the plutonium and neptunium. In case of uranium, plus 6 oxidation states is more stable, and this is the oxidation states of actinoids. The next important part is the difference between lanthanoid and actinoid series. For our HSC board examination, this is an important point for the 2 marks, and sometimes the write a note on the lanthanoids or actinoids separately. Then these points are most important. The first difference in lanthanoid and actinoid series are the differentiating electron enters in 4f orbital in case of this lanthanoid, because there is a principal quantum number is 4f, and in case of the actinoid series the differentiating electron enters in 5f orbital. The binding energy of 4f orbital are higher. In case of actinoids, binding energy of 5f orbitals are lower. Third, they shows less tendency to form the complexes. Lanthanoid contains there is a only plus 3 oxidation state is more common, and in case of the lanthanoid series plus 2 and plus 4 oxidation states are very rare. But in case of the actinoids there is a higher oxidation state. The last point is we shown that there is a uranium, neptunium, plutonium shows there is a 7 oxidation states in their compounds, and due to this reason they shows actinide shows there is a greater tendency to form the complexes. Oxidation states are very small, and in this actinoid series oxidation states are more, therefore they shows there is a higher tendency to form the complexes. Most of the lanthanoids are colorless. They are the silvery white colors, but in case of the actinoid series, most of the actinoids are colored. For example, uranium 3 plus is red, uranium 4 plus is green, and UO2 2 plus is yellow. Means this uranium shows there is a plus 3, plus 4, plus 5, plus 6 oxidation states in this compound, and due to this variable oxidation states, actinoid are colored, that is uranium are various colors, that is red, green and yellow in color. This depends on the oxidation states. Next point, they do not form the oxocations. But in case of the actinoids, they forms there is a oxocations. Oxocations such as the UO2 plus, NPO2 2 plus, etc. And these are the oxocations of the actinoids are more stable, but lanthanoid does not form the oxocation. Besides plus 3 oxidation state, lanthanoid shows plus 2 and plus 4 oxidation states in the few cases. This is already explained in this shows there is a tendency to form the complexes. And besides these plus 3 oxidation states, actinoid shows there is a higher oxidation state such as the plus 4, plus 5, plus 6 and plus 7. And due to this higher oxidation states, actinoids shows there is a different color in their compounds. And this difference is most important for our HSC board examination, and this difference contains if 6 points, there are the 6 points. If 2 marks question is asked in our exam, then you can solve only 5 points in our answer sheet. The next one is the similarities. Similarities between lanthanoids and actinoids. Just like there is a difference in lanthanoid and actinoids, they also shows the similarities between lanthanoids and actinoids. Both the series shows the plus 3 oxidation state. This is the common oxidation state of lanthanoid and actinoids. In both the series, the f orbitals are filled gradually. In case of the lanthanoid is 4f orbital, and in case of the actinoid 5f orbitals are filled gradually. Both are the commonly f orbitals. F orbitals are filled gradually. Next one, ionic radius of the elements in both series decreases with an increase in atomic number, and this ionic radius and atomic radius are decreases with increase in the atomic number, and this is called as their contractions. Fourth point, The electronegativity of all the elements in both the series is low and are said to be highly reactive. Electronegativity is very small. They reacted with the highly electronegative elements and they are the highly reactive because they are the metals. And the last similarity between the lanthanoid and actinoid is the nitrates, perchlorates, and sulfates of all the elements are soluble while the hydroxides, fluorides, and carbonates are insoluble. Nitrates, perchlorates, and sulfates are soluble while hydroxide, fluorides, and carbonates are insoluble. For this lanthanides and actinoids. And this is a similarity point between these two series of F-law element. Then this chart shows, this is a table, some comparison between the pre-transition lanthanoids and transition metals. This comparison shows there are the three columns: pre-transition metals, lanthanoids, and transition metals. Pre-transition metals are essentially monovalent, shows the group N plus oxidation state. Lanthanoid essentially shows the +3 oxidation states with +2 and +4 for certain configurations, and the transition metal shows variable oxidation states. Next one, periodic trends dominated by effective nuclear charge at noble gas configuration. Lanthanoids contraction of Ln3+, and they shows there is a size changes of the MCN plus less marked. Means these are the pre-transition elements when the S block elements. These are the lanthanoids. They are present in the S and D block elements, and this is the transition elements. The similar properties for the given group, they also shows the similar properties, and in case of the transition metals, substantial changes in the properties. There are some changes. Pre-transition metals always hard O-oxygen donors, preferably negatively charged. They always hard. They also the O-oxygen donors, preferably negatively charged. The heavier metals increasingly from FeCu may shows the soft character. They having the no ligand field effect in case of the lanthanoid, insignificant ligand field effect, and they shows the substantial ligand field effect. Next is there is a poor coordination properties. In case of lanthanoid, they are the higher coordination numbers, and in case of the transition, coordination number 6 is typically maximum in many exceptions. Pre-transition metals are the flexibility in geometry. Their lanthanoids also shows the flexibility in geometry, and in transition metals they are fixed geometries, ligand field effect. And lastly, there are no magnetism. Lanthanoid shows the magnetism, and transition metals shows also the magnetism. And these magnetic properties are calculated in case of the Bohr's magneton, mu equals to the square root of n into bracket n plus 2 into Bohr's magneton. And this is the comparison between the pre-transition lanthanoids and transition metals. The last point is a actinoid elements. And this post-actinoid element shows there are the different and several points. The first point is the element with atomic number greater than 92 are called as a transuranic element. The elements from the atomic number 93 to 103 this now included in the actinoid series, and the elements this 93 to 103 these elements are called as a transuranic element. This is also called as a man-made elements, and all these elements are the radioactive. The elements from 104 to 118, that is atomic number 104 to 118, are called post-actinoid elements. And 4 point, the post-actinoid elements that are known so far are transition metals because the electron enters in their d orbitals. They are included in a post-actinoids because similar to the actinoid elements, they can be synthesized in a nuclear reactions. So far, 9 post-actinoids elements have been synthesized. They are having the similar properties to the actinoids and they are present in their actinoid series, post-actinoid series. It is difficult to study their chemistry owing their short lives. Their lifetime is very small and therefore their chemistry of the post-actinoids is studied very difficult. Lastly, for example, the elements 112 has a half-life of only 2.8 into 10 raised to minus 4 seconds, and with half-lives of the milliseconds, only a little known about the chemistry of these elements. And this is the short half-life time. Their chemistry to study is very difficult. The Rutherfordium forms chlorides, Rutherfordium tetrachloride, similar to the zirconium and hafnium in their +4 oxidation states. Dubnium, this resembles to both the group 5 elements metals, niobium 5 and actinoids, protactinium 5. And these are the properties and some points about the post-actinoids. And here the D and F log elements are completed. Thank you. The next topic, the numericals on electrochemistry. In this lecture, we have to discuss the solved numericals in our textbook. These solved numericals are important for our board examinations because examiners are selected some examples from the solved examples of in our textbook. Therefore, the first example is problem number 5.2. Calculate the molar conductivity of silver iodide at a zero concentration. If the molar conductivities of sodium iodide, silver nitrate and sodium nitrate at zero concentration are respectively 126.9, 133.4 and 121.5 ohm inverse centimeter square per mole. Then there is a calculation in this case. Calculate the molar conductivity of the silver iodide. According to the Kohlrausch law, the solutions according to the Kohlrausch law, the first point is a molar conductivity of the sodium iodide is lambda 0 Na plus lambda 0 N I minus equals to the 126.9 ohm inverse centimeter square per mole. Second is silver nitrate. Molar conductivity of silver nitrate equals to the lambda 0 Ag plus lambda 0 NO3 minus. This molar conductivity is equal to the 133.4 ohm inverse centimeter square per mole. And for this sodium nitrate, molar conductivity equals to the NaNO3 equal to lambda 0 Na plus lambda 0 NO3 minus equals to 1 to 121.5 ohm inverse centimeter square per mole. These are the three quantities are given in our this numerical. Then the equation 1, 2 and 3 gives there is a Kohlrausch law addition and subtraction all takes place. Therefore, the molar conductivity of the sodium iodide and silver nitrate are added and subtract the molar conductivity of the sodium nitrite. Therefore, lambda 0 NaI plus lambda 0 AgNO3 minus lambda 0 NaNO3 equals to the these molar conductivities are present in their lambda 0 Na plus lambda 0 I minus plus lambda 0 Ag plus lambda 0 NO3 minus lambda 0 Na plus minus lambda 0 NO3 minus. In this case, this NO3 minus and this lambda 0 NO3 minus, these two quantities are gets cancelled. Similarly, this lambda 0 Na plus, this is a positive quantity, and this negative quantity minus lambda 0 Na plus gets cancelled. Therefore, only there is a remaining part is a lambda 0 Ag plus lambda 0 I minus. And this is a molar conductivity of the silver iodide. Then add this values of their molar conductivities of NaI, AgNO3 minus NaNO3. We get there is a answer 138.8 ohm inverse centimeter square per mole. And this is a applications of the Kohlrausch law to determine the molar conductivities of the strong electrolytes from another strong electrolytes. Also weak electrolytes, their conductivities are determined the salts of the strong electrolytes. And this is the first numerical. Second, the problem number 5.5. The conductivity cell containing a 0.01 molar KCl gives at a 25 degrees Celsius the resistance of 604 ohms. The same cell containing 0.001 molar AgNO3 gives the resistance of 6530 ohms. Calculate molar conductivity of 0.01 molar silver nitrate AgNO3. Conductivity of 0.01 molar KCl at 25 degrees Celsius is 0.00141 ohm inverse centimeter inverse. In this numerical, we discussed the first calculate the cell constant. The cell constant is given by this formula, case conductivity KCl into the R resistance of this KCl solution. This is equal to the KCl solution. This conductivity is given 0.00141 ohm inverse centimeter inverse into this resistance is 604 ohms. Therefore, cell constant is equal to the 0.852 centimeter inverse. Then second is a calculation for the conductivity of AgNO3. Then this conductivity K equals to the cell constant divided by resistance. And this cell constant is determined from this first equation is 0.852, where R resistance for this second solution resistance is 6530 ohms. Therefore, this K conductivity equals to the 0.552 divided by 96,530, and this is equal to the 1.3 into 10 raised to minus 4 ohm inverse centimeter inverse. From this conductivity, we can calculate there is a molar conductivity, and formula for the molar conductivity equals to the lambda equals to 1000 into K divided by concentration. And this K is determined from this calculation of the conductivity 1000 multiplied by 1.3 into 10 raised to minus 4 ohm inverse centimeter inverse divided by this concentration of this molar conductivity of HNO3 0.001 moles per liter. After solving this equation, there is answer is obtained 130 ohm inverse centimeter square per mole. And this is a solved example of our textbook. These are the important and similar examples are given in our exercise. Second, numerical problem 5.7. How long will it take to produce 2.415 grams of silver metal from each salt solution by passing a current of the 3 ampere? Molar mass of silver is 107.9 grams per mole. The solution, the stoichiometric equation, the silver gain one electron and forms the residue silver as a solid, and this is a reduction reaction. Therefore, the mole ratio equals to the number of product forms in half reaction divided by number of electrons are required in their half reaction. This is a mole ratio formula. Mole ratio equals to the number of product forms are 1 mole and electrons are required are also 1 mole electron. Second is a weight of the substance equals to the this I into T. This is a current actually passed divided by this is a Faraday constant into this mole ratio into the molar mass of the silver. Therefore, this weight is obtained is 2.415 grams of the silver metal is already W is given value equals to the 3 ampere. It is a current. This is a current. 96,500 is a Faraday constant into this is the 1 mole upon 1 mole of the electrons multiplied by. Therefore, T equals to the 2.414 into 96,500 divided by this 3 into 107.9, because this is a T term is taken on this left side while all quantity taken on the right side. And the final answer is 720 seconds, that is equal to the 12 minutes. This numerical is solved directly or by using the log tables. Then the numerical 5.10, calculate the voltage of the cell Sn solid Sn2 plus is 0.02 molar, salt bridge Ag 0.01 molar, then phase boundary into silver solid at 25 degrees Celsius. E0 Sn equals to the minus 0.136 volt and E0 Ag equals to the 0.0800 volt. Then take this numerical for homework. In this case, we can explain again this numerical in next lecture. Another 2 numericals are taken for the homework. First is a numerical 1. What current strength in amperes will be required to produce 2.4 grams of the copper from copper sulfate solution in 1 hour? The molar mass of the copper is 63.5 grams per mole. Used there is a aspects of electrolysis process, that is the Faraday first law and second law derivations, their equations for the numerical, and solve the current strength in the amperes. Second numerical is to calculate the EMF of the following cell at 25 degrees Celsius. Zn is solid, Zn2 plus 0.08 molar, salt bridge, chromium 3 plus 0.1 molar, and phase quantity to the chromium. Standard reduction potential of the zinc electrode is minus 0.76 volt, and that of the chromium is minus 0.74 volt. Calculate the EMF of this cell. This numerical is similar to the above example. In this case, there is a reduction and oxidation reactions are taken. Then calculate there is a redox reaction, and after this we can substitute all this value in this Nernst equation. E cell equals to the E0 cell minus 0.0592 volt divided by 2 into log of base 10 Sn2 plus upon Ag plus square. This is the Nernst equation for this tin silver cell. Similarly, you can use the cell notations. There is a redox reactions, and redox reactions means reduction and oxidations for these two electrodes, and substitute this value in the Nernst equation and find out the final answer. Thank you.